Hello, everyone. Welcome to the DFW Drum Coach Podcast, episode number 5. I'm your host, Caleb Barnett. Today, I'm joined by my good buddy, Sam Glenn. He is a drummer and audio engineer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He's also a fellow podcaster. In today's episode, we talk a lot about his experience in drum corps as a snare drummer, as well as his journey growing up playing drums in church and school, and transitioning into doing live sound. So I hope you all enjoy what he has to say. All right, Sam Glenn in the house.
What's up?
He rolled up in a Tesla, y'all.
Dude, I rolled up probably the most basic I could have.
He has Starbucks in hand.
I rolled up in a Tesla with Adidas on and board shorts and double fisting Starbucks cups.
Yes.
So basically, yeah, nobody should respect me at all.
Come on. So talk to me about like the Tesla situation, because that's an interesting story.
So I bought the Tesla to make money. Which is like kind of crazy to hear. But so there's this app called Turo.
Uh-huh.
And on this app, basically, you can put your own car up and they insure the vehicle. Like if they are stupid and hit somebody or hit, just like damage it at all, they cover you. You still have to pay like a deductible, but essentially I can put the car on for like about $100 a day. And so I can make my payment at the very least, and everything else after that is money.
Nice.
So
yeah, I was looking into this thing called it's called Rapify, where you can like wrap your car with ads.
Oh yeah, I've seen Uber drivers do that.
Yeah, like there's a couple companies. I like seriously looked into this not too long ago. Carvana, Rapify, and I don't know. There's another company where you can actually just like stick like this like LED board on top of your car. It looks kind of dumb.
It's dumb, but they pay you more.
Yeah,
I'm curious on like the damage of your car. Is the only problem with those?
I'm not sure, but I know that they take care of the installation and you know, taking it off and everything like that. But I think they might have.
I could do that to my Prius.
You could do that.
Yeah.
And like I think some people were making around $300 a month.
No way.
Doing it. Yeah. And the more you drive, the more you make.
Oh, okay.
There might be a cap on the distance, but I do know that it depends a lot on distance. But yeah. So cool, man. So dude, talk to me about like how you got into music and like just where you got started and all that.
Music. So my parents were singers.
Yeah.
As your parents are.
Uh-huh.
And actually, they knew each other before they were married, maybe? I'm not sure.
I think so. Did they go to Richland High School?
No, they went to Bell.
Bell, okay.
Bell. But they both went to, my dad went to Bethesda.
Okay.
And so they got married there. And I have video of them getting married there, and it's so funny to see
Probably like
that church back then. And it was like a musical. Like they literally had like a trumpeter on the balcony and they both were singing, and they even had 2 people officiating the wedding. So they had Dez and they had my mom's pastor, and they would like trade off like between. It was so funny.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Did they have the red carpet there?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like,
everywhere. Back in the like 70s and 80s.
That
they
was
had,
the thing.
like,
There's still
orange.
churches today that still rep the red.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder is that the blood of Jesus or something, or I don't know what that symbolizes.
Oh man. God,
it's just not good.
Some people,
the church I go to has it actually.
Really?
Yeah, they're getting it out, but like, they got a building given to them.
Okay.
And so they just came with the carpet.
Some people just don't adjust with the times, I guess. But
yeah,
that's hilarious, man. So your parents are singers.
Yep.
And you come from a pretty musical family altogether, right?
Yeah. So everybody in my family essentially can sing, and all my brothers can play.
Okay.
So growing up, basically, my oldest brother, he got into drums quite a bit, really early, in public school. And then he like did a year with drums, and then he went to Bethesda private school, and kind of did their band thing, but did a lot of sports. He was very sports heavy. So we all did sports and music, and it was like this hard balance of like, who's going to do sports and who's going to do music, and like we essentially all chose music at the end,
right?
Because sports is we're all kind of big people.
Well,
inherently by genetics.
No, I think y'all were playing baseball, right?
Soccer. They played a lot of soccer. We played a lot of baseball. My oldest brother, Chris, he like wanted to be like in the major leagues at one point.
Oh, nice.
Like, cause he was getting a jazz studies degree at, or he was trying to get a jazz studies degree at UNT.
Mm-hmm.
There was some like politics that they weren't letting him into the program because he was trying to also be on the baseball team as well.
Oh, wow.
And that actually happened in high school too. He was like drum captain. Mm-hmm. And he was also trying to be like in baseball, and they all like were like, "Hey, you can't do both." And he was like, "I can, kind of, but the timing, like, something's got to be sacrificed, I guess." So,
well, that's weird because in high school, if I remember correctly, the seasons don't overlap with each other, right?
well, so like I guess later in the year when you've got like concert band and stuff, like he wasn't really carrying out concert band. And at that school, it's like, okay, you can't just be here for marching band.
Sure.
You got to be here for
all year round.
all year round. Also, they were doing winter drumline. They started like WGI, I think.
Yeah.
What is indoor drumline, like high school level. And so he did that with the high school. I think that may be where it was too. Where it was like, you've got concert band, and now you've got this separate like extracurricular out of school time like drumline activity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like which is really cool, because I mean he went on to do like all that. He did like Metro Alliance and what was the other one he did? I forget. But he did indoor, and he also did drum corps.
Yeah, didn't he march Boston Crusaders?
Boston 1 year. Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
So he kind of, I would say, I mean, as like you're an older brother.
Yeah.
Right? So you know that you kind of influence a little bit of what your younger siblings are. Mm-hmm. So he influenced me because I wanted to be essentially a drummer as well.
Yeah.
Just because he had his drums around, and I would go like put on some Vic Firth headphones and play Creed.
Yeah, bro.
And I just try to learn how to play that. And then he was in like drumline. I thought that was super cool. So I like early on tried to like learn like snare drumming. Mm-hmm. Like literally in like 5th grade, I like borrowed a snare drum from the high school, and for Halloween I was like a drummer. I was like a little drummer boy.
That's cool,
running
man.
around like causing havoc, rim shots and all.
Yeah, that's what you said about being an older brother. That is so true. You definitely don't realize how much you influence your younger brother. And I mean, that's the same thing with me. My older brother was like really, I mean, for me personally, he was a big influence for me because at one point I wanted to join the military, and he was a big Army guy and stuff like that. So yeah, you kind of follow in their footsteps, but stuck with music. I was like, music's my thing. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
But, okay. So did you like start playing in church, or?
Like first, like the stuff I did first, I guess I played a little bit in church in the beginning. Mm-hmm. The first thing I did was I joined like middle school, like band.
Yeah.
Right. And I like showed up to the audition when you're in 5th grade, the quote unquote audition where nobody's supposed to know how to play, but I like prepared because I knew the book already. I like showed up and like did they was like paradiddles and like single stroke
stick control,
and they're like trying to get people to do rolls, and like I'm like in line watching these like chumps trying to roll, and I'm like, these guys aren't gonna get in for sure.
Right. I was like,
I show up and I like know the book. I'm such a tool. They're like, okay, I guess you'll be in it. So, because they all knew me because both of my brothers already went through that system.
Sure.
So they're like, oh, it's just another Glenn.
Another
like,
Glenn.
Coming in hot.
Nice,
so,
man.
From there, I mean, I played drums at church, like drum set. Mm-hmm. And actually, I don't know who started it, but I wanted to do jazz quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so in middle school, we actually had a jazz band, and we'd play like Count Basie tunes and like some
Which
like
middle school
really
was this?
Northridge
middle. They had a jazz band in middle school.
Yeah, we started one.
That's
so like
awesome.
I got them to buy like a Gretsch Catalina kit.
Nice.
And it was like a 4-tom kit, and I bought Constantinople rides.
Oh,
as a middle schooler. I still have them today. I've never bought another ride.
Dude, they're
awesome. Both a little cracked because I smashed them in worship. But
right.
I still use them because they sound cool. But,
Sweet.
Yeah, we played jazz, and I wasn't very good. It was like trying to learn how to do swing, how the feel is.
Yeah.
Learning how to play with like other people. Especially like coming from. I was also taking piano lessons at the time. So like piano lessons, I'm reading music. And I'm reading music and percussion. So this is the first thing where it's like where it's like school put together, and I'm like essentially on my own a little bit, like because like sometimes they'll write the part out in jazz, but like it's mainly the hits, and so like the director will go, hey, like we're gonna add a thing where the saxophones like do this, like can you like do a little thing, and I'm like we'll try couple different things or fills to kind of embellish. I was learning that in middle school.
That's awesome,
which is super cool. Looking back on that now, shout out to Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith.
What a guy.
What a guy. Agent Smith. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool that you got that experience at such a young age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's like stuff that you don't really get into most of the time until high school.
Yeah, well, my brother was going to UNT trying to get in the 1 o'clock, and I was like, hey, there's this thing called jazz. It's pretty cool. Like, why don't we do that?
Right.
You know? So that was just a fun. It was like probably the funnest thing in middle school, because middle school was kind of a drag in general.
Yeah.
Just with everybody just being
it's an awkward stage,
new part
man.
of life.
Yeah.
Awkward stage. A lot of relationships get awkward. Like all the friends you had in elementary school aren't too cool for you now.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're like, where happened to all my friends? And so, so then you get into band, and then now you have all your band nerd friends.
Oh man, and those I still keep in touch with all my band nerd friends, dude. Like those are just lifelong friendships you'll have forever.
For sure.
But I was talking to I think it was my mom the other day, and we were talking about how in the 7th grade, I don't know, I can't remember how this came up in conversation, but like that's when my voice started changing. Yeah. And you go through puberty and everything.
I don't remember that happening.
Really?
No. Huh. Not at all.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, I guess somebody probably remembers, but it was kind of like a slow progression.
Okay.
Yeah, for me.
It happened pretty quick for me. That's probably why I remember it. But like, I was in a reading class in the 7th grade, and we would go like up and down the rows, like reading books out loud.
Yeah.
And every time it'd get to me, I'd be like, my voice would crack, and it was the most embarrassing thing ever.
That happened to me with glasses. Like there was just a day where like, I was like, Miss Fudge, I don't remember her name, Miss Fudge, like, I can't see the board. She's like, what? And it was almost like I had like a disease. It was like 4th grade, and they're like, okay, you need to go to the nurse. You go to the nurse, and you do the like eye test. And they're like, yeah, you need to get glasses. So overnight, I'm like needing glasses.
That's so weird.
And, it's like, it's so weird how stuff like that just like happens out of nowhere.
Our bodies are so strange.
Yeah.
But so you did middle school jazz band, and then that you just went right on to high school, and
I mean, it's just kind of a part of the track. You get into high school, and you get into marching band. That's the first thing you do, because it's all prep in the summer.
Yeah.
So you try out at the end of your 8th grade year, and I really wanted to do snare. So like during my 8th grade year, I was actually attending like almost sectionals, trying to like get better. Cool. But I didn't practice enough, and so. And the drum line was really good at the time. Like there was one of the best drum lines in the state, especially at the time. And I wasn't good enough to be in it.
I can't remember who all was on that line.
Christian Levins.
Yep.
Do you know him?
I know him.
There's a guy named Eshton Lowe.
I remember Eshton. Yep.
Who else?
I want to have both of them on the podcast too.
Dude, you should.
Yeah.
I need to talk to. I keep trying to talk to Christian. He's got that cool duet band or whatever. He has like a brass band kind of thing or something. Cool.
Yeah, he's doing good things around town.
I played with him at Bethesda actually.
Oh, really?
At this drum line that was headed up by like UTA, like this guy from UTA. Were you in? You weren't in that, were you?
What year was that?
I don't know. We had these rotos, and like was like
that was. I did something like that in 2008.
Okay, it was later.
Okay, yeah, I think they did it twice.
Yeah, and like it was like. It reminded me, because I think this was in like 2015 or something, and like by that point I already went through drum corps 1 year, and so these guys were like drum corps guys, and so we were all like trying to play all these like really hard riffs, and it was like bringing me back to like being in the middle of like Louisiana during the summer, like sweating my ass off.
Yeah. I forgot that you marched drum corps.
It was open class. It was like basically like I can't say that. It was just like, it was really funny because when you're in open class, and when you're in a not very good open class either, it was Forte at the time.
Oh, okay.
They were around for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the first year, they were like not very good. Like their drumline wasn't that great, and their band wasn't that great, but their show was decent. The year I was in it, the drumline was really good because they got a new guy. He's from like Boswell. His name's Tyler Orbison.
I've heard that name.
He's so cool. I think he now does indoor. I think it's called Vanguard.
VIP? Is that what
VIP.
it is? Yeah. Okay.
He does
That's
VIP.
where I thought I knew him from.
Yeah. So he's so cool, and he like totally, because like I was learning traditional at the time, trying to do drum corps.
Yeah.
And I went to a Crossman camp, and the first camp I go for drum corps, it's a corps that switched their technique to basically beating the shit out of the drums.
Yep.
And so it's not a good combo when you're learning traditional.
Yeah.
Especially at like 16 I was.
Yeah, we went to that same camp together. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, we were there at that was the 2011 season.
Dude, okay, what did you think about that camp?
I thought the same thing. I was like, I'm going to get tendonitis if I march this season.
Like,
and I actually
Paul
did.
You did?
I did get tendonitis practicing so much.
Oh, you practiced for it?
I practiced super hard, and like
I didn't practice much for that. I was playing a lot of Call of Duty. I think actually at that point, after that camp, I didn't get in. I was like, I'm selling my Xbox.
Nice.
Yeah, but sorry.
No, I interrupted you. But yeah, I was practicing so much and like really trying to emulate, because like I think the guys came from Carolina Crown,
maybe,
and I was watching this,
and I was like, Carolina Crown wasn't that great.
Yeah, like this was like 2009. they just played with such balls, you know. And I was trying to.
Tyler Orbison came. He played for Carolina back in the early 2000s.
Oh, did he really?
I think so.
Is he a UNT guy?
No.
Okay, because I think that Paul Rennick was at Carolina Crown.
Oh, was he?
Before Phantom. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I got horrible tendonitis. It was like almost overnight. Like my right arm just swelled.
Not at the camp.
No, this was right before the camp.
Oh, geez.
Actually, no, that's not true. This was. God, I got to get this timeline right. Okay, so was it before the first camp or before the second camp? I can't remember.
I didn't make it to the second camp.
Yeah, well,
they not asked back.
I didn't make it past the second camp.
I think I cried in an audition.
Did you?
Be fully transparent. I think I tried to do a solo and I failed. I don't think I cried in the room, but after I was like, it was a lot.
Yeah,
I was like away from my family a bit. I don't
you were
remember
young,
what it was.
man.
I was young. At that point, so I didn't do football in high school, or middle school. So the whole shower situation was new to me.
Sure.
So I was like that kid that was like running around trying to hide all the things.
Yes.
You know, just insecurities up the wazoo.
It's so weird, but you know,
and sleep in the same room with women.
Yeah, that
was
is true.
Was new to me.
That is weird.
And I was like, I think I heard somebody rustling around over there last night. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think that ever happened at those camps, but it definitely happened on the road when I was around.
Really?
There was a lot of
I've heard stories that like it gets pretty crazy on tour.
We got a bunch of, and my corps is really young, so there was a lot of 18-year-olds,
mm-hmm.
and you get a lot of 18-year-olds. They're kind of redneck 18-year-olds. In a bus together, one bus for the entire corps. Right. You got a bus and a van for like 10 people.
Wow.
And the food's not that great, and we're in the back roads of Louisiana. Stuff happens.
Yeah. What like how long was the tour for open class? Was it the full summer?
Well, no, I think our actual like prep time, we started later than world class.
Okay.
Because it took a while to get the show together, honestly, and the horn line really suffered that year. They didn't have enough good people actually audition.
Really?
And so the horn line was really low on people. I think the entire corps probably had like 60 to 80 people in it.
Yeah, it's small.
It's really small. I felt like a 2A school going around trying to,
especially coming from,
I'm paying like $3,000 to be a part of a 3A school, or I come from a 5A drum line,
exactly, with
like nice drums, and I go to this other camp and it's like 8-year-old Yamaha drums, and they're like, we're just barely making it through with duct tape. I mean, like the day we got quote unquote endorsed by Evans was like we felt like the coolest people ever put new heads on.
Yeah.
That's how like
Gosh.
rough it was. And we were eating like cereal in the morning before PT, and it's like it was the hottest summer that year.
Yeah.
And so it's like no joke 110, and we're running on the track with milk in our system.
Jeez.
Dude, like there's a lot.
I remember at the Crossman camps, the food was actually really good. They had
world class, man.
They apparently had.
They got good moms.
Apparently they had they have one of the best food trucks in all of DCI.
Really?
That's just, I mean, that could be just the Crossman people.
They need to get a little cleaner on their drum line.
Dude, no, that's
that
no
year.
doubt.
That year, I don't know about the other years. I was salty because I didn't make Crossman, and I went and we did a show in Southlake for 4th of July, and they were there. And we were there, and we were walking by, and there was like 10 of them, just like, go, just beating the crowd with the drum, and they're doing their show music, and it was so much dirt. I was like, our book was a little easier, but we were like, our snare line was pretty clean.
Yeah, well, yeah, Richland's drum line was always really good. I'm talking
about Forte.
Oh, Forte. Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking.
We're pretty clean. And we were funny. We had all these vocalizations. We were like boots and hose. We had all these like very inspired by Blue Coats.
Yeah.
My favorite core to this day is still Blue Coats.
Blue Coats, they throw down, man. They're so good.
The drum set player that leads them off, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Like.
They don't do the standard Dr. Beat anymore. No. It's just like they have.
He has a Dr. Beat Vic Firth headphones, and he just like.
I wonder why he does that.
It's like if Beat Math had a drum line. That's basically what it reminds me of.
Yes, exactly. But I wonder why he does that. I wonder if it's just to like make them, I guess.
I think their whole I think their whole deal is about feel. Mm-hmm. So like if you can feel it properly, then you're listening more, and you're not tied to music.
Yeah.
And they're all about just like their show music is written in a way where it's very grooving.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the difference between drum set players that shred or shed. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it's called. When you see those like gospel trap videos versus like somebody who just like is in the pocket constantly. It's like, this guy's jamming, and I dig every single syncopation he's doing because he's very intentional. Yeah. Versus somebody that's just like rolling around the kit. And I love both. Yeah. But by no means.
For sure.
But like one is like very applicable to music, and one is like a watch me for 10 minutes moment, you know?
Dude, no doubt. Like, it's crazy how much Gospel Chops has really changed the game.
Well, the guy that when I went to Berkeley, I'm still mad that you went to Berkeley and I didn't get to go. The David Boonchi, I think his name is.
David.
Do you remember David?
Oh, yeah, David. Yeah.
It's like the Anchor Church he went. Uh-huh. He's like the connected person up there. Now he's like, is he Malaysian, I think?
Malaysian, yeah.
Malaysian, and he like put that together.
Yeah, the Berkeley Berkeley Sheds, I think is what he called it.
Yeah, it was like 1 and 2. I don't know if he did a third one or not. But some of those drummers that were in there are like big deals now.
Oh, yeah, Sean Wright.
Yeah, Sean Wright specifically.
Fabrizio, I forget his last name. He's an Italian drummer. He is straight up Vinny Colaiuta on steroids.
Nuh-uh.
I swear to God.
I need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, you need to check him out.
It was that thing inspired me to that style, because I never really got into gospel style really at all.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that was necessarily the get go. I followed a guy named I'm gonna blank his name now. Chris Coleman.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Like I saw a Meinl video of his, and he did like, because he does these like I think Meinl sponsors him to go and like do drum workshops or something. Yeah. And he has like a track that he'll play to. He has like songs that he makes, but he also has these deals. Have you seen where he plays with a Met? And the Met counts like 1, 2, 3, and he's like, and he like completely just shifts completely with the metronome. It's such a cool thing. Because you don't really realize sometimes where on the beat drummers are until you have somebody counting, and you're like, holy crap, he is rolling through syncopation right now.
He's actually a phenomenon, because he's
with New Breed.
He did tour with Israel Houghton or Houghton. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I don't know either. Israel,
but we all know.
We'll say that.
Houghton. But yeah, he toured with him for a little bit. I don't know if he still does, but that guy actually has
I think the guy that is with now, or maybe was, one Guitar Center drum off.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember his name.
Ramon Sampson.
Yes.
Yeah,
he took Chris Coleman's spot.
God, he's so good.
Yeah,
man.
they're both freaking good.
But Chris has a degree in drums, and then he also went and got a degree in bass. So
Really?
he actually is a killing bass player.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So but all that to say, he is like a true musician. Oh, sorry, my phone's still.
Oh, you're good.
But let me mute this thing. It's gonna go off. Yeah, he's insane, man. And but what you were saying about how Meinl, I guess, sponsors him to go on these.
Yeah, it's like a part. We'll give you cymbals.
I think they do. I think some people are doing like tour or clinic tours now.
Well, I'm sure they have a couple people that they bring on, and like it's probably a booth, like at PASIC or something.
Oh, I see.
You
Okay,
know,
like the Meinl Drum Fest or something.
Maybe, yeah. I think maybe that's what it might have been. Just
Okay.
like the main stage where they'll bring different drummers on, and
I think I know
talk
which video
products
you're
and stuff.
talking about now. The one at NAMM.
maybe I can't remember. But I straight up was trying to transcribe one of his songs for my Berkeley audition.
Yeah.
And I was like, crap, I need like 5 toms and 200 cymbals to
Right.
make this happen.
And when you go do that audition,
you got like
maybe
a jazz
3.
kit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not doing that. So I picked like this book that had a pretty cool solo in it.
Cool.
But yeah, it wasn't cool enough, I guess.
I did.
I made it to Berkeley, but I just didn't get enough scholarship for it to make sense.
Sure, I understand.
Because it was like, it's expensive.
It is very expensive. Yeah, no, and that's what deters most people from going or finishing is just the price.
Yeah.
And
David was telling me all the loopholes he was doing, where he was like asking for grants constantly
of
and
course.
like writing in, and like he was like really, because when I got to because I actually went to Boston to audition, he let me use his underground like practice space.
oh man,
It's like
that
one of
place
those
is
like
a dive.
It's hilarious. You
Dude.
walk down and there's like a couple metal bands practicing.
It smells like
and
weed.
It feels like it's probably like, and I wasn't exposed to drugs at all, like ever. And so I'm thinking like, I'm gonna see heroin needles somewhere, like as I'm walking down, or somebody's gonna be locked in one of these like banging like help me. Like, so it feels like. So he just leaves me alone in this practice room 2 stories underground.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm practicing to like my stuff, and I'm like, this is terrifying, but really freaking cool too.
Yeah,
because he is freaking cool.
yeah, I love that guy, man. He's one of the nicest, most genuine people ever.
Yes,
but he is also like the hardest working man I've ever met.
He didn't. At that point, I don't think he knew what sleep was.
No, he was just 100% all the time.
Yeah,
like
because his dad's like a pastor.
Oh, is
I think
he?
in Malaysia? Yeah. He like is a pastor in Malaysia. And I think, is he doing K-pop stuff now?
I think so.
I know he's repping a girl or something. But he's like in the industry.
Oh yeah, he's in LA.
I think I saw him at the Grammys.
Yeah, he's doing big things. I don't know who all he's worked with, but it's cool.
You can have him on.
Yeah, dude, that would be actually
he's
really
a drummer.
Cool. Yeah, that would actually be really cool. He's probably too busy for me though.
Maybe a Zoom call.
Yeah, Zoom call for sure. But because you actually went to Anchor Church, right? So you met all the people there.
I went to. Well, they were in a hotel, and Matthew Sim, I think his name was, mixed, and I was like, dang, he's like really freaking good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Because they were like mixing a really tiny kit in this like tiny ballroom, and it sounded great. And I was shocked because at that point I was like starting to audio engineer. Like that was my first little bouts of audio engineering, and I was like blown away what he's able to do with all that. And I got to like hang out overnight. Like I hung out till like 4 a.m. in the Berkeley studios.
Nice.
Like, and they were doing a project, and then we had to like wake up and go. We went into like the church circuit, the gospel black church circuit, where you saw everybody from Berkeley making money.
Yep.
Did you ever do that when you were up there?
I'm trying to think of what you're talking. The circuit, the gospel circuit. What do you mean?
Well, there was like I don't know. David just took me on a bus, and then there was like we went to like 5 different black churches.
Oh, okay.
And every single place he went, he knew everybody on stage.
Wow.
Of course, because he's just that guy.
Yeah, he knows everyone.
And he's basically telling me like, this is how they make money. Like this is how drummers make money here.
Wow.
By session drumming or drumming for these churches on the weekend.
That's so cool. Yeah, I didn't play in like those gospel churches or anything like that. I played in a Baptist church though that was in a building that was built in the 1800s, early 1800s.
It's not Anchor Church, right?
No, I was at Anchor Church, but you were making money there? I was playing for free there.
Okay.
And then I got offered this full-time drumming position
I see.
at this church, and so I went there. And it was actually very interesting. Well, I wonder if I still have pictures of it, but like it used to be an old theater.
Oh yeah,
and
like a Broadway style theater?
like kind of like a Broadway style theater. So the architecture is just extravagant. Like it's like you're walking into a museum, and the cool thing about it was called Converse Hall because Converse All-Star owns it apparently.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, that's very interesting. And they're based in Boston.
Oh yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
And the stage that we played on was the stage that the first public reading of the Gettysburg Address was read.
Really?
Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
It was. I mean, that was just so awesome to me. Like I was always thinking about that.
Well, just being in Boston, that seems like to just sprinkle itself in your daily life.
It's such a historical city, man. Like there's just history all over the place. And the buildings are so old, and like, you know, it might have been a restaurant at one point, but it used to be like a bank where this crap went down and, you know, like changed the economy.
Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, right?
What a party.
But yeah, man. So you let's see here. You didn't end up going to Berkeley.
No.
What did you decide to do?
So I was like, I wanted to go to Berkeley to do film scoring.
Yeah, that's right.
So I actually quit band in high school my senior year.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I quit band in high school because I was like, it was out of spite. So when I went to drum corps, I learned traditional and like I did drum corps, but I didn't get drum captain for a couple of reasons. One, because I was a massive douche. Not a douche. It's not the best word. I was prideful because I was like, my brother was the drum captain for like 2 years. And like I felt entitled. Sure. I was like, I deserve this, but really, I just didn't practice enough. And there was some guys in there that were younger than me that were better than me. Yeah. And I didn't want to accept that I wasn't the best. You know,
I hear you.
Because I'm like a perfectionist. I'm like, I always have to be the best.
Yeah.
You know, and I still am that way. But I'm like, okay, if I've now learned, like, if somebody can do better, like, you go ahead. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna use it as fuel to get better.
Sure. That's a good way to look at it.
Now but then it was like I'm just gonna quit. But it wasn't that only reason of that. I was just frustrated because it just felt awkward. Just like I was just an awkward person in general. My relationships were annoying, and I was like in church. I was like, I like my church friends better than my friends at school, and I was like, I already did 3 years of marching band. I did drum corps 1 year, and I didn't like my drum corps experience. Mm-hmm. And I think it was mostly because it was an open class. Yeah. Because like the food sucked. We had to like do like car washes. We had to go to Sonic, and we had to stop tour and do car washes to be able to make it to the next city.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? And that's nothing you would never do that in a world class car.
So, but you pay $3,000 to do it?
Yeah, it's called people that don't know how to manage money, which is just all over the place.
Oh, I would have been like, I would like to go home, and I want my money back.
Oh, dude. Tell me. I
was like,
one kid quit, but it wasn't because of that.
Oh, my gosh.
It's kind of a funny story, actually. I kind of want to tell it.
Yeah, I do want to hear this.
So, do you know what tracking is?
Tracking?
Like
that's
in drumline?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing our show music, right? And we're tracking, which is just like little, it's almost like army marching, but really slow. You just kind of mark time, but you still move as a group. Mm-hmm. So the goal is like, you need to make sure you're staying in line, which is like something you just subconsciously learn how to do. Yeah. And then we're playing our show music, and we're trying to make it tickless. We're just clean. Yeah. No mistakes, no inconsistencies. We were running a part over and over and over. And so there was one vet on the snare line, and a vet means like they were in it last year. Yeah, veteran. And so, but we had a new director. So when you have a new director with veterans, it's kind of weird because like they could either miss the old staff, or and they don't, or their vet status isn't as like cool because they don't have the teacher they had. Yeah, they were a vet. So. Mm-hmm. He was basically the worst snare drummer on the line, which is also another thing. Yeah. And I was probably the worst snare drummer on the line, if not him. But so we were running this part of the show, and he keeps ticking. So when you at this point we were trying to like make it clean. So the way they decided to make it clean was if we had a tick, we would stop and they would point somewhere and we would run.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we'd run to this place, and it usually wasn't that far. It was like maybe like 50 yards and back, which is kind of far, but like
yeah,
especially when it's 105 outside and shirts off.
Well, considering how many reps you do
and how many times you've sucked. So we probably did that about 15 times in an hour. And the director, it was the same. It was one guy doing it almost every time, and he got so frustrated with him. He was doing the same part, and it didn't seem like he really cared to fix it. To try to tighten up with us. It was like probably like slurring like a rough or something. The rough wasn't clean, or like maybe a start of a roll was dirty or something. It's because it's hard to get like 8 people.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had like 8 snares on the line. Right?
Yeah, and you have to think about like this, like the exact timing of like a roll, like a double stroke roll. That timing between the first and second hit, is very important. Yeah, and if you don't get that right, sometimes you're not able to recover. Yeah, and it's really obvious to people when they're watching. So he was just kept messing up. So what our director did, this wasn't Tyler. This was like, because Tyler would like go off and do things. It's like you wonder where they go and do. Yeah. But it's probably working with a pit. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But so he gets fed up, and he's like, okay, his name was like Daniel, I think, but I don't know if that for a fact. I don't know if we should. Nobody's gonna find it. Yeah, it is. His name was, let's say, Dan. So Daniel, he goes, Daniel, I want you to sit right here, and then our guy points to the like it was probably like 300 yards away. Yeah. Like, go to that pole. Everybody except you. You're going to watch him. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he quit that day. Yeah. He quit. He left in the night with his mom. Wow. Yeah. How old was this kid? Oh, he was like 20. Okay, so he was in his... Okay. Yeah. Golly. Left 20 in his mom with his mom's Kia Forte. Kia Forte. Funny enough. That's some like... It's whiplash stuff. Yeah, that's like some Navy SEAL stuff, because I've been watching we were all mad. Oh yeah, because like they do some people in the drumline are not Christians, and so and even Christians in the drum corps or whatever, like, but they were like starting to like cuss him out when we were running. Yeah, they would go like fuck you, dude. Yeah, like, seriously, like, if you better figure this out, or like I'm gonna kick your ass later. Golly. Like, yeah, it was trash. Well, and I'm sure that toxic. The heat didn't help, like that, because that can really make you angry. We had like beanie weenies for lunch. That didn't help either. So beanie weenies. Got beanie weenies, and we're running. Golly, it was bad. Well, yeah, I'm sure that he did that intentionally to piss off everybody and like make him feel even worse. Of like, I have to get this right, or else somebody's gonna beat me up. Yeah, but he was basically done. It seemed like you could just tell on his face he was just defeated. Is that a common thing in drum corps? I didn't know it was like that serious. No. Usually you pick people. It's almost like if you don't pick the right people. Usually you pick people that are very driven, and they're gonna take time outside of rehearsal to go and like figure out their stuff, or like, hey, can I get with you and let's work on this together? Yeah, those kind of people make drum corps. Yeah, you don't just make drum corps because you're good. You make drum corps because you came prepared, you're willing to work with others, and you're a good person to be around. Because all that matters. It's just like going on a tour with a band. Yeah, it's like, absolutely. If I hate you as a person, but you're really good, I don't know if I want to be around you unless you're Blue Devils, where everybody's a dick. Yeah, just because that's the style. Yeah, I think that corps, because of how many championships they've won, I think it's gotten. Full disclosure, I don't like the Blue Devils drumline. Really, they aren't clean enough. They try too hard. They try to play stuff that they can't fully play every year. And I bet anybody who's a Blue Devils fan is like hating my guts right now for saying this. Well, it's weird. Like, I've been going back and watching a bunch of drum corps videos recently, and I've stumbled across some recent seasons from Blue Devils, and I'm like, did they really field this line? Like, you can't be serious. Well, they used to. It was like BDB, which is like their open class corps, was like where they feed people from. You almost have to go through there to get in their drum line. Oh, really? You can't just go. Yeah, because they already have such a backlog of people, and Blue Devil C too. Yeah, which is like almost their high school group. Yeah, and so it's really hard to get in. But it's definitely gone downhill, I would say. Paul Rennick's still crushing it with SCV, dude. Obviously, I went and
I watched Spartacus from 2008.
Dude, I get chills on that.
That is my favorite show ever.
Like, it's still the best show, I think, in existence. Yeah.
Like,
Blue Coats had a good one a couple years ago, but man, like I think it captures the true essence of what marching band should be.
yes.
Drum corps, some people call me out on that.
Right.
Like, it's a show at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We're not here to like learn about your random cues. Like, we're here to like be like entertained.
Well, to me, it's
for
like
the masses, not just for drum nerds.
Yeah.
And horn nerds.
Well, to me, Spartacus like told a story. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like those are the best kinds of shows. That's the best kind of music. Is like it's telling a story.
Yeah, it's why people liked like Blue Man Group.
Mhm.
It's like they're telling a story with
Yeah,
that stuff,
absolutely.
and they have really freaking good drummers playing really cool instruments and real drums and like an entire like rhythm section that's just killer.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all in masks. You don't know who they are.
Yeah, you know it's funny because like they try to keep that.
Have you ever seen them live?
I have not.
I saw
I've
them in Vegas.
Did you really?
Yeah,
dude.
It's that and Steely Dan, Michael McDonald.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's
Steely
a
Dan,
show.
Michael McDonald had a set together.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't
Who
know
was
who
on
they
drums
were
with
on the
Steely
time.
Dan?
I don't know. I was not old enough.
What year was this?
So it's probably like 2008.
It's probably Keith Carlock.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. God, that guy's freaking good. You know what's
My
crazy?
brother was like loving it because he was in college at that point. He
Nice.
was like, this guy is a legend.
Yeah, Keith. If it was Keith Carlock, he was a UNT guy, and he was actually working a lot in the Dallas circuit, like I do. And like it's funny because one of the guys that I play with is well, okay, because when you called me the other day, I was telling you that I was going to go play with a band called Mars Hill, and Dave Barnett is the owner of that band. My dad's name is David Barnett, but this guy's
Right,
Dave Barnett.
right.
But he, like, it's all UNT guys in his band, and
Yeah.
he's like, dude, Keith Carlock back in the 90s, like, he was so freaking good, like, in Dallas, and then he moved
Yeah.
to New York and got the Steely Dan gig and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it's crazy how small of a world it really is.
And you got Snarky Puppy, where it's
Mhm.
like half of them are Dallas, half of them are New York.
Yeah.
And those are UNT guys.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like freaking legit as
God.
well.
I think Michael League is his name, right? The bass player?
Oh, yeah.
I think
so.
he's a genius, dude.
He is a genius. Michael Thierry's also a genius.
Yes.
Sput is a freaking genius.
Mhm.
There's a video, I don't know which album it was. It was the album with Lingus on it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Where they had that, well, all their drummers are black, but they had a guy that's bald that came in, apparently had to come in last minute and learn all the parts,
Mhm.
and he slays. I don't remember his name. I don't know what song it is.
It's probably...
I think he played on Lingus.
It's probably...
But he
I know
freaking slams.
They have one guy that's Canadian.
Is he black?
I'm trying to remember his name.
It wasn't Sput. Was he
No.
bald headed?
Yeah.
It's probably
kind
him.
of a little bit more muscular, a little bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He I mean, all the drummers slay.
God, I can't
But
remember
he
his name.
apparently just came in and like learned the charts like a couple days before.
Yeah.
And they just because like Snarky Puppy, they just do a couple takes.
Larnell Lewis is his name.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is amazing.
Amazing.
God, he's so good.
Like
And-
just like keeping a groove based drummer and being able to like shred every once in a while when necessary is like.
Well, he's just straight. He's musical. He's
Yes.
such a musical drummer too.
And that's like I think Snarky Puppy is the good balance of like shredding and musicality.
Absolutely.
Like especially there's that I don't remember his name. He's a phenomenal organ player. Probably one of the best organ players, especially gospel organ players in the world. Can't remember his name, but he is the epitome of like tasteful.
Yeah. Corey Henry.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy because like we're talking
All of them.
Yeah. all of those guys.
All of those freaking guys.
We're talking about Snarky Puppy and how much of an impact they've made on Dallas and New York and whatnot. But like, whenever they would like, all my Berkeley friends when I was in college knew who Snarky Puppy were.
Oh yeah.
Every time they come,
Because they didn't come out of Berkeley. They came out.
no, they were all
came out of New
North
York.
Texas.
Well, half New York, half North Texas, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the bass
I mean,
player
they
was
might
North
have some
Texas.
guys that did something at Berkeley at one point, but every time they came to Berkeley, they would play at the Berkeley Performance Center or the BPC.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be sold out in like minutes.
Oh, I bet.
Like
I saw him at the UTA's like amphitheater.
Oh,
once.
yeah?
It was really good.
Yeah, they I still haven't seen them live, but I've watched all their videos.
Funky Knuckles I saw.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is like their like stepchild,
Yes.
basically. Their
Yeah.
funkier stepchild.
God, those guys are good.
I remember the bass player. I think he had like a 13-string bass or something.
Wes Stevenson, I think is his name.
He's got like
I
red
haven't
hair,
met him
short
yet,
dude.
but I want to.
I want to be him.
Yeah.
One day.
He looks like he could like really beat you up too. You know?
Heck yeah!
It's like,
He'll
don't
like
mess
throw
with
the
that guy.
bass and slide my head off, and then
Oh
he'll
my
just
God.
like throw me across the room.
I played a gig with their saxophone player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was on a gig. We were doing it was a corporate thing for Dish Network, and
Dish Network,
yeah, man,
throwing out the tunes.
Yeah, so what we were doing, God, this was like the first week of I played in a band called Time Machine that played like 5 days a week a couple years ago, and they
What
did
music is that?
well, it's all top 40. It's
Oh,
a
so
cover
it's cover
band.
band, okay.
Yeah, so like two days a week.
That's kind of a good name for a cover band.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah.
And they're a great band. I love all those guys. But I just ultimately I got really burned out because I felt like I was on the road for a year and a half straight.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, okay, man.
Were you touring around the U.S.?
Well, we would play a lot in Oklahoma, a
Okay.
lot in Louisiana, all over Texas.
Yeah.
But
You're still gone.
I felt like I was out of town every single weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't like, we stay in a hotel and come back. It's like we're sleeping on the bus, like to and from
Yeah.
gigs and stuff. And I mean, it was great, a great experience.
Yeah.
I was in a new relationship at the time, so I wanted to
a
be
lot.
home.
Yeah.
So I put in my notice. But anyway, the Dish Network gig, it was an awards show, or awards thing for like their sales rep or whatever. And we had to we had to be like a Jimmy Fallon band and play on and play off people as they were
Okay.
coming on stage. And so we were off to the side, like the pit
There you
band.
go.
And
Did you get
they were
a
like,
Tiny Ludwig kit.
no. I at the time
And
I
a
had my
bongo
Gretsch,
player?
but yeah, the Roots. No, man, that would have been so cool. But yeah, we had like a producer in our ear that was like, "All right, band, 3, 2, 1, go." And we had
There
to play
you
it
go.
and and stop, and we had to.
That's cool.
Yeah, but anyway, I can't remember the guy's. It's like Ben something, but he's a really cool guy, really great player. I've only played with him once, but I've seen him all over.
You're talking about the saxophone guy.
Yeah, saxophone guy. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's
I don't know.
Great player.
Drummer in that band. I remember I was just standing behind him at I think it was at the Profit Bar, which does that still exist?
I think so.
But the door does it now. It
No.
like came back and then went back down.
God,
I think it's being turned into a cidercade, which kind of makes me mad.
as a what?
A cidercade?
What is that?
It's like a cider like bar
Oh, okay.
and then an arcade.
Cidercade. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or cider like a barcade, cidercade. Similar concept.
Man, it sucks that like we can't keep open these independent music venues.
They just don't know how to do business.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah. What would you do differently?
With them?
Well, with anything. Like
I don't know the inner workings of them, but they needed to invest some money. It was long overdue. They
Yeah.
probably just didn't have the money.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had artists come in. Like I've seen that every time I go, that room's full.
Mhm.
So I'm like, somebody's doing something wrong here, because they've got people in the room and they have a bar, and people are getting drinks.
Yeah.
It's like I've never been to a show there and it's been empty.
Yeah.
Except like a high school battle of the bands. That's the only
Yeah.
time I've seen it empty. But
Right.
yeah, I just think if you got your room full, you should be doing well. I mean, I don't know like how much their rent is
Yeah.
either.
If they're in downtown Deep Ellum, it's
They
got to
just
be.
need to. Well, the problem in all these cities, like especially LA and New York, it's like okay, you just need to get out of the city just enough
Mhm.
to where it's still accessible.
Yeah.
but your rent's probably like a quarter of the price.
Right.
Just like people at Berkeley, like I know some people lived in the suburbs
Mhm.
in their like last years, and that was like the cheapest way to keep it going. You know, to
Rent was
alleviate debt.
it was like $500 cheaper if they just would move like
Couple blocks.
well, it wasn't. I don't even know. It was like a 30-minute train ride, so it was about
Oh, dang.
maybe
That's long.
maybe a couple miles.
Some of them they have car. I guess you just don't have a car there.
No, I mean you can, but Ben and I didn't. We just took trains and Ubered whatever we needed to. But yeah, we didn't really need to have a car. All of our friends had cars though.
That was before. I guess Uber was just starting when I went.
I think yeah, that was about the time when like it was a new thing to me. But
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry I interrupted you. What were you?
I don't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about
business, like the Profit Bar.
Oh, Profit Bar. Well, Profit Bar I think is doing great. I think. They obviously aren't attracting talent.
Yeah.
Like, why would Mute Math go to Club Dada and not go to the Door? You know?
Yeah.
Club Dada is so small, and maybe they just want to go for a smaller venue, but the Door is basically a medium venue. It's not that big of a venue.
Yeah.
That venue would be perfect for Mute Math if they're wanting a smaller crowd. So it's like there's got to be a reason why Club Dada is doing well and the Door wasn't. And they're in the same area.
Yeah. It's
know?
like right around the corner from each other.
Yeah. So it's like that. It was one of the bigger venues in that area. I haven't been like why would somebody go to? I played at Curtain Club with Taylor for About All the Bands. We played a bunch of Paramore songs.
Nice.
And that was like I think the last time I played, like for a gig publicly. You know.
Yeah.
Like not church.
Right.
And it was weird because I had never had like a subwoofer behind me.
Oh.
Playing drums.
Yeah.
And I was like, I understand now. Like this butt kicker isn't kicking it anymore.
Yeah.
Like this sub behind me is freaking legit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh. And you have to be careful. Now I'm like, I feel every kick note. So I can tell when I'm a little off from the bass drum now.
Yeah.
Or from the bass guitar.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, I got to dial this in.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, playing there, I was like, this place is a dump. I think they've updated it since. But like when I hear somebody playing at Curtain Club, I think about when it's literally there's a curtain on like, and you stay behind the curtain, and every person they go up, they shut the curtain and like do it, and like I'm sitting at the drums, and it feels like a TV show, like an Office episode where like they all go and like supporting their friends at the bar, and like the curtain like half opens and gets snagged, and they gotta like figure it out. It's like so ghetto, and they got these Guitar Center moving lights that are like shaking. It's like, man, this place is, and they're all smoking weed. Like there's some metal band smoking weed in the back, you know.
Yes.
Every time.
God.
Or like somebody making out. It's like, I think they're about to get it on back there. There's a couple curtains in the back for a reason at Curtain Club. So lots of curtains.
Okay, I have a crazy story I gotta tell you.
Do it.
Since you talked about like making out and stuff.
Uh-oh.
I went after.
Don't get me jealous. I haven't made out with anybody in like 10 years.
Really?
10 years.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Are you like waiting? Or
no, it's like, you know, when they talk about people that like, what do they call it when in the Joker movie? They talked about people that are like like,
I did have the one with Joaquin Phoenix. I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, I'll just say it in plain words. I'm not like trying. I'm trying to find a relationship.
Yeah,
but I haven't found one where the girl likes me.
Oh man. Well,
so it's this really depressing part of my, not that depressing, where it's like I'm finding these girls that I like, and then like for some reason, I've had 4 girls where it's always 3 dates that go great, and then all of a sudden I get ghosted or it's randomly. They always text me, and so now I'm like,
they always do it.
Always over text.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I hate people that text me.
Man, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I'm just
good. Be patient, man. It'll come.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Well, my last girlfriend was 7th grade.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like actual girlfriend, and then I had this weird like physical like. Well, it wasn't that physical. I was just like making out with a girl in high school.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. But it stopped because her breath stunk.
Oh, no.
And so I bought her some gum and she didn't want it. And then that was the end of the relationship.
Oh, my gosh.
I talk about it actually on that podcast that I told you really? Starting. Yeah. We talk about, brutal. Me and my roommate both talk about some relationships, cringy stories. I'm like, we need to talk about cringy stuff we've done in these relationships because I think it's funny to look back on. But anyway, sorry.
God. No, it's okay.
You had a story.
This is... I hope this isn't unsettling, but like, when I went back, so I graduated from Berkeley, and my buddy from college, his name's Joe Holt. He lives in New York now. He was doing some shows in Boston.
Okay.
And my friend Charles, who is also in New York, was doing some shows in Boston. So they both hired me to fly, like they flew me out there to do one show with Charles, one show with Joe, and I think it was back to back if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And anyway, so we were at this venue. It was an art museum, a small little art museum. It was a super cool vibe.
Is it like one of those places that there's like some teenager trying to sell all the art they did?
It was kind of like an art store or art museum meets a thrift store. It kind of like looked like that, like
Okay.
a pawn shop. It was kind of dingy,
Yeah.
but the stage area was actually like really cool.
Okay.
So anyway, we did the show, and everything was going great. And I can't remember. Oh, there's this cute little girl that played first. Like she played her set. Did really good, and then Joe played, and then Charles played. But I can't remember when it happened. But I remember like I was sitting watching, and then I remember I see this girl frantically grabbing her guitar and leaving the building.
Oh.
And I was like, and she was like coming around the corner. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And then the next day, the
you
next
didn't
morning,
investigate?
No, like she left. The next morning, it made national news that she was like sexually assaulted.
Really?
By the owner of that venue, and that
No
venue
way.
just shut off like that.
Oh, I bet.
It was the weirdest thing, but like I just like my spidey sense went off. I was like, something's wrong.
Something's heavily wrong.
Something went bad.
See, I'm the guy, and I shouldn't do this. Don't do this. Where I'm the guy that like go, and she would have probably been very receptive. I'd be like, "Hey, ma'am," like, I may even just go and watch her and see if she makes it to her car. Am I okay?
Yeah.
Like, and just like, is somebody gonna go after her? Because I'm the guy that would totally step in and like be a jerk.
The thing
to
is,
somebody else.
that's not really well received in Boston.
No, it's definitely not. Oh, it was in Boston.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Texas, that might be different, but you know,
I remember she may not know I was there, but I'd be the guy that would just make sure, like, okay, she get in her car. Okay, she's in her car. Okay, good.
that's just a gentleman thing to do. But no, in the Northeast, women are very like they want to be empowered, and they want to like I respect that. You know, they don't want to feel inferior.
Well, I do it with guys too, a little bit, where it's usually a different situation though, where it's like this guy, maybe I could tell he's like drunk or high, and he's like walking down the street, and I just want to make sure like he's not gonna start walking in that. He's not getting on the highway, is he? Like,
yeah,
you know, like he's on the underpass and he's like looks like he's like about to turn to get on the highway. And I'm like, I'm about to call the police and tell like, hey, there's a guy that's drunk, like walking to the other side of the highway. So it's probably not a good situation.
No, man.
So,
well, I mean, good on you for taking action.
No,
we need more people like that. But anyway, I
Sorry.
can't remember. You said something. Oh yeah,
you
were
had
talking about, like,
the girl made national news.
yeah. It made national news, and like it was all over Facebook, and I was like, whoa! I was at that venue.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was going on.
Yeah.
Until the next morning, and but it was just like super like. It just kind of hit really hard. Like,
I bet.
Dude, this stuff happens.
Well,
like,
think about the people that in the Me Too movement that like they were like, oh, I was on the set with that person, like at that movie, like, and then maybe they had no idea, and maybe they did, but it was like I couldn't imagine. I haven't been connected to anything like that with somebody.
I didn't know.
I can only imagine how that feels.
Yeah, but it's just like like people are just crazy, man. Like
People
that dude
do stupid shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you can't. You seriously think that you're gonna get away with this? Like, you can't be for real. So
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's
but it was just, but it's kind of weird because the whole time, like when I said I've spoken highly about the venue, I'm like, oh, this was a really cool vibe and everything, but there was something that was off.
Oh, you
know what I mean?
felt it from the
I don't know if
beginning?
it was like the Holy Spirit that was like kind of like, yo, like something's off here. I don't know, but I was like, dude, this is kind of interesting. But anyway, you said something about like people making out in the back, and it reminded me of that story.
Oh,
I was
geez,
just
yeah.
like, God, dude, stuff happens. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Back to like, what's your favorite place to play? Like, what's your favorite venue to play at?
Let's see here.
I know there's venues you've said you want to play at, but maybe what you have played at.
I have a couple. I do a lot of like corporate, like private parties and stuff.
like uptight suit stuff, or
well, kind of like
depends.
like, you know, if Home Goods wants to hire a band for like their DFW party or something like that, their Christmas party. I've played at the Glass Cactus before in
never heard of that.
Grapevine. It's right next
That
to the
sounds
Gaylord.
awesome.
It's like
Okay.
their like venue.
Okay.
That's a really good spot. Anytime we played at the Gaylord Hotel,
Who did the production behind that? Was it PSAV?
I'm not sure. I'm not
the
sure.
venue? So I know PSAV operates in Gaylord. 'Cause
Who's
I've tried-
PCV?
PSAV is a corporate production company. So they actually service Gaylord and a bunch of big hotels and a bunch of small hotels too.
Mhm.
Where essentially hotels go, we need somebody that can just manage our events and do production for them.
Okay.
And PSAV are those people that that send people on the ground and bring in gear for events and communicate with
I'm
whoever's
sure
in.
I've worked with them before.
You probably have. You just maybe not realized.
But like I'm
If
trying
you
to
do corporate stuff, you've probably worked.
Oh,
with them before.
Southside Ballroom. That's my favorite one.
Which one? Which part?
The
main stage.
The big main
you played on that main
yeah,
stage?
I've done that.
I saw Young and Free on that stage. I saw somebody else. I can't remember. But that's a cool place.
That is an awesome place.
Oh, I saw crap. On the other stage, it was cool. Somebody I watched do an in the round set in the other room. And I'm blanking on who it is. It's the guy who wrote like "I'm Not in a Hurry." It's like Christian like indie band. Really, really good, really good. But I love that area.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who does church in there? Was it Southside Ballroom? Like Hillsong has a campus there.
Really? In Dallas?
I'm pretty sure they're at Southside. They are at Southside Ballroom. And I don't know if they're still there, but that's where they started. They just load in on the weekends.
Interesting.
And do church.
You know, I've wondered about that because when you said that, I thought, why didn't they just buy a building in Dallas? Surely they have enough money to just go ahead and do that.
Not wise.
Yeah.
The track record of churches getting into cities is bad.
Really?
The only people that have done it well is Hillsong, really. And people that just have operated solely from there. It's hard, and there's a lot of churches that tried to go from the suburbs to inner cities and stuff, and it's fraught with losing money because it's just a different. They're different people. Yeah, it's way higher like money to get in, and so when you've got those factors against you, it's just not like going to be very successful unless you like really know what you're doing.
Yeah, that
Hillsong does.
That makes sense to kind of tread the water first and kind of
it's
dip
just
your
like
toe
okay,
in.
You got to service young adults because you got a lot of young and like people of like progressive mindsets. And Hillsong does that really well. Because they've done it in New York and they're like massive in New York, and they've done it in LA and they're massive in LA. I mean, you got Carl Lentz, who is the pastor of Hillsong, New York, and everybody has debates on whether he on a lot of the things he does, but I mean he has influence in the world. Yeah, like absolutely. So he's crushing the game to some degree.
Yeah, that makes more sense now, business wise, because I have played at a couple of the Life Church campuses.
Dude, that's a whole animal that is genius. Yeah, because that's the Bible app. Is that church? Yep. And that's like, holy crap. Yeah. What a resource that has been. And there's such good people over there. I've played at the Keller campus, and they just opened one up in Mansfield recently. Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're, I don't know if they have a building yet, but they were meeting in Legacy High School.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, the progression of church is home, school, rent a building, and then buy one. Yes, exactly. Usually what it is. Or you, like Belonging Co. Do you know Belonging Co.? Belonging Co is a really awesome band. It's got they're a great worship band, but they're also a really great church in Nashville. Okay. And so it was actually put together by a lot of touring Christian artists. So you've got like Danny Gokey, Carrie Joe, Cody Carnes, Lauren Daigle, I think goes there. Okay. Could be wrong. And a bunch of other guys that are awesome. But they just got a building. And they've been like their pastor is like a Grammy Award winning mixer. Wow. He mixed like some old Hillsong stuff and old like Israel Houghton stuff, I think. Okay. But yeah, I went to their building the other day. It was like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Are Carrie and Cody in Nashville now?
I think so.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, because she's actually about to record a record, I think.
Nice.
Very, very, very soon.
Dude, that song.
A COVID record, live record. Like I'm curious what they're going to do.
Interesting. Yeah. The new song, The Blessing, that came out.
Oh, from Elevation?
Is that? Oh, that is from Elevation.
It's Elevation.
They're singing
Stephen
on it.
Furtick is a co-writer on that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and God, it's such a great song.
It's really good.
Like
Elevation in general right now, like crushing the game. Like just instruments, because what's funny about Elevation, they come from a metal background.
Really?
Their whole band is like, especially guitars. If you look at some of their old stuff, their tones are like very Marshall Stack. Yeah. Like heavy tones. Okay. And their drums too. Their old drummer that I think he's actually played on Drumeo. Okay. Or he's done stuff with Co-op Drummer. You know Co-op Drummer?
Co-op drummer.
It's Cooper Drummer or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I don't
They've
know
done
him,
like a collab, I think.
Okay.
Playing some Elevation tunes.
That's awesome.
Where they like do duo drums. It's really cool to watch.
You know, it's funny because I used to loathe. I'm going to be completely honest. I used to loathe playing like CCM music. I could
What
not.
CCM music? Like
like
Bethesda CCM music?
Yeah, like
All of the charted like.
Well, no, the I mean that was fine. I didn't really get to do that a whole lot.
Okay.
They usually hired guys that were a little bit more seasoned, but I'm talking like
I played in there one time.
Did you really? Nice.
I played 3 weekends.
Oh,
for my
nice.
brother.
Very
it was
cool.
stressful.
Oh, it's a very stressful
because
gig.
it brought me back to jazz band.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, dang. And then we do like a normal song, and then I was like, okay, I know this part.
I remember the first time I played on a Sunday morning. It was
it the electronic drum?
No,
days?
it was.
Or
It was
the main set?
Yeah, I think I was subbing for your brother.
Okay.
I was 19, 18. I was super young, and it was. I prepared. Like I learned the songs. I went over the charts.
Was James playing bass? James Driscoll?
Yeah, he was.
Dude, he's awesome.
And Noel was on guitar.
Classic.
And I had to run the click track as well.
Yes.
And I had a talkback mic.
Yeah, I remember all this. And then it was all like, oh, you'd never done that before?
I had never done that
See,
before.
I did that growing up in the church.
Okay.
So
yeah, like the foot switch thing and all that stuff. I was like, this is so foreign to me.
That's
and
funny.
I was just like, anyway, so like it all got in my head.
Oh,
all I have to say, the rehearsal went horrible.
Really?
I thought I was going to get fired.
Oh,
but
no.
the service actually went really well.
Okay, good.
And Cliff told me, he's like, yeah, man, like sometimes that just happens. We have a bad rehearsal and then things just kind of
Dude, what's so funny, that is true everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think even in secular stuff, but like there's been times in like, especially being an audio engineer watching stuff, and you're pressed for time, you've only got like, say, 30 minutes for rehearsal, and that 30-minute rehearsal needs to be good.
Yeah.
And when you're on like a weekly basis, say it's for youth or something, and that rehearsal's bad, it's really stressful going in.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we actually didn't get to run one song, and I don't know if Susie knows that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But those times seem to be like the best. Like it just somehow clicks.
Yeah, your
because everybody.
instincts.
I think what it is, I think everybody's just really focused.
Yeah.
And instead of like just letting things slide, I think everybody's like, okay, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta focus. What's next? Because they're prepping themselves before they go up. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a spiritual element to it as well.
I completely agree with that.
But
yeah.
I think it's also like there's some physical, like mental stuff there too.
Yeah, man. I used to but back to what I was saying about how I used to hate playing CCM. I think it was like the 2008, like 9-10 era, like Hillsong and stuff like that. It was just so boring and slow.
A lot of the songs sound the same.
Yeah, I just couldn't stand it. It was all
Hillsong's still kind of that way.
yeah.
They have some really good hits, but a lot of their stuff is just like.
It's too depressing.
Well, Hillsong worship stuff is more like trying to be corporate, and it's like for their market too.
Okay.
It's not necessarily for America.
yeah.
But the United stuff is like produced album like
Gotcha.
for the masses, trying to get on top 40. And then you've
Cool.
got Young and Free that's like
Oh.
trying to crush the top 40 EDM
Oh man,
like
I love that.
pop side, and they're
Yeah.
crushing it.
But I've really learned to appreciate it over the years, like playing Elevation stuff. Who else? Bethel.
You appreciate the Tom game for sure.
Yes, like you can't get enough of those tribal tom beats,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
the production is so cool, like all the synth sounds and stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just fun to listen to, and it's fun to like the drum tone's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really growing on me, and then
Who's your favorite drum tone in the worship world?
good question. God, I don't know, man.
My favorite snare is Bethel snare.
Okay.
And I'm super biased. Anybody that knows me is like, I'm a Bethel fanboy.
Yeah.
I literally have the snare.
Oh, do you really?
It's a Truth 14x8. And it's actually a David Whitworth snare. David
Okay.
Whitworth's the drummer there.
Nice.
14x8. It's got a 42 strand, like fat snare strand.
Yeah.
You crank the bottom head. You get a Power Stroke 4 top head with like a ring and a clear moon gel. And that's the Bethel snare sound.
Nice. I'm sure it's, I know it sounds great, but like I've gotten to the point where like
you don't like the splatty?
well,
ones?
yeah, I like a little bit of rebound from the snare. You know what I mean? So like I
So
usually
you probably like elevations a bit more. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like a low crack, so you still get some rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, mine isn't like dead. Like you still get some rebound. I mean, you kind of have to work some ghost notes out of it.
Yeah.
You can get ghost notes, so you just have to work a little bit harder with like fingers and stuff.
Maybe I just need to quit being a pansy and just do it. It's like
be versatile, man.
Yeah,
God. Just kidding.
What else was I going to say? Oh, dude! But now it's like a dream of mine to be like a touring worship drummer.
Really?
I would love to do that.
Who would you want to do that with? Have you seen Planet Shakers?
I have, actually.
Dude, that would be a really fun band to be a part of.
Yeah.
It's a cheese fest.
But
their rhythm section is like probably one of the best rhythm sections like on tour.
Yeah.
I would say,
they're
honestly.
really, really good. I haven't met this guy yet, but he's a Gateway drummer. His name's Ishmael.
Ishmael? Yeah.
Do you know him? I think he went to North Texas.
Probably.
But he, I follow him on Instagram, and he's in a touring Gateway band. I think they have a touring band.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that just looks so much fun. His wife goes on tour with him and everything. I'm like, God, that'd be so rad.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I've got, I would love to be a touring drummer for like Elevation. I really want to do touring audio engineering is really what I want to do.
Ooh, yes. Yeah.
Because especially like Elevations, and because like the guy who mixes for them was a quote unquote taught by Chris Greeley, who mixes all of Bethel stuff. And he's just like a genius, and it kind of changed I would say Chris Greeley changed how worship sounds for the market. Because you could tell if you watch Elevation's sound, you can hear it get so much better. Hillsong for a long time was kind of like a live, quote unquote live sound, which I hate when people say I want it to sound more live. Yeah, live. And I'm like, we're live. It's gonna sound live. I know
what does that mean? Like more
well,
reverb?
To them, no, to them they don't want me to compress as much. They don't want me to EQ as much. I'm like, man, it sounds good, especially when I'm having to work with a dB limit at a church. Like, I have to use these tools.
Yes.
Because I want it to sound like it's 105 when I'm mixing at 90. And I have been able to achieve that with over the years, like trying to fake out my dB meters.
Right.
Just sounds like slamming through a PA that doesn't deserve to be slamming.
How do you deal with like difficult people as an audio engineer?
Depends on who it is.
Okay.
At the church or in life?
Do you do stuff outside of the church as well?
I try, but I really tried to get in the market, and then COVID hit, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to church.
Well, if you want to do cover band stuff, like I'm happy to throw your name in the hat if that's something that you'd want to do. But
I got my own PA and everything.
Yeah, seriously, and you should rent that out, like you were talking about.
Yeah,
that'd be really good. But like with just difficult people in general, I guess like how.
Well, so I think it's always good to go to a place of love, and you have to go also at a place of, and that usually comes as a place of understanding. So if it was an example like maybe a vocalist ears, let's say this is usually probably the biggest thing in audio engineers world, the vocalist ears aren't doing well and they're pissed. They're being a diva. Everybody knows it, right? Yeah. So you could do one or two things. You could stay in the booth and try to fix it, which already is a loss, right? Yeah. Or you can get mad in the booth and lose it. Yeah. The best thing to do is to go up to them. Walk up to them and say, hey, what's going on? They go like, they're probably like, oh my, I can't hear my fucking voice. Like, sounds like trash can. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Hey, can I grab your pack? Let me listen to it. And then you like maybe bring your iPad up there and adjust it. And then like give it to them. It's like, hey, I did a couple things. Just let me know what you think. And most of the time I fix it because they're not wrong. Yeah. Usually. Yeah. If they're wrong, it's not usually like that they're wrong. It's like maybe their cable's messed up or something's wrong. Like they're not idiots. Yeah. You know, and they're stressed about trying to get rehearsal done or something. Sure. You know, there's a lot of factors. You have to just be understanding. So, and you got to be quick too. If you're not quick, you're not gonna be in the next gig. Oh yeah. So if you're a dick and you're not quick, then you're out. Man, I think just handling it with love is the best. Like professionalism. Everything. Yeah. Like everything in life, you handle with love.
Absolutely.
You're gonna win every time. You're at least gonna be the better person. Yep. Because I can't fix like if I give him the pack and he's like still fucking sucks and he throws it in my face, like I can't do anything about that. Yeah. Like I could react and punch him back, but then man, like good luck getting another gig.
Seriously. Anybody. Oh my God. Well, you know, it's crazy how much like your reputation really means a lot.
Oh yeah, but everybody watching him too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like the drummer can be like, hey, I didn't like how you handled that, and if he comes back at him, he's like, dude, I'm out. Or
Yeah.
the first opportunity he has to get out, he's out. So that guy's going to be left with no friends at some point in his life if he continues on that road.
I know too many people that just lose their cool on
Like,
gigs.
you're not cool enough to lose your cool.
Yeah. Like, there are people waiting in line to take your job.
Oh, heck yeah.
And, like, as soon as you can, like, humbly accept that, like, I think that I think most people would have a different attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. As an engineer, I always have to be perceived by the band like I'm there for their every need. And some people, you have to humble yourself to be there. Because you could think, I'm not their errand boy. But, like, you're a production guy. Like, you're not on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You're here to make them look good.
Yeah.
You're not here to make yourself look good.
Yeah.
Like, especially in church, like, what is my job at a church when I'm mixing? I'm here to make, to enhance the presence of the Lord with what I do.
Yeah.
Right? And so, what that is like the worship leader is in charge, usually. So if the worship leader asks something of me, I need to probably do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't think it's the right move, then I'll come at a place of love like, hey, I understand what you're saying, but here's where I'm coming from. Here's why I think we should do it this way. Usually if they're a decent person and they trust you and you've built that relationship, because it's all about building the relationship before the platform, then you will get what you need. It's not about getting what you want. It's getting like what's best for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you build a culture of like, we're gonna make this as best as we can as a group, not for like to enhance somebody's ego or pride, and that's off church anyway. Yeah, it's like if you're in a cover band, it's like we want this to be the best it can be. We're like egos are the biggest killer to that.
Absolutely.
So
no, dude, that's brilliant. I completely agree with that. I just I can't imagine. I always try to be super accommodating and nice to the sound guy because I realize that their job is super complicated.
Can be.
And they have like 1,000 other people that they have to deal with.
Especially if they're mixing ears and doing it from the house and also dealing with the staff. They're like, hey, can you help us set up chairs? And you're like, no. Yeah. I'm trying to do sound check right now.
Exactly. But like I know a little bit about it, like, you know, having to set up a scene and whatnot and like EQ everything, and I try to be sensitive. If I need something, I try to approach it like in a very like calm way and like, hey, fix my stuff, man. I
fix
try
my shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you work for me, bro.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But I do know people that do that.
Oh,
and I'm like, you should not be working in this industry.
There's a power dynamic they crave, and that's usually when it comes out.
Yeah, and then you wonder why sound guys
are assholes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've grown to understand that.
I've tried to fight that inner side of me that wants to be an asshole. And I think the church, working at the church on staff salary, has taught me that. Yeah. Like dealing with difficult people. And I was not always good at it. And I essentially left my church position because I was sucking at dealing with certain relationships in the church. But coming out of the backside of that, learning my faults and accepting my faults and coming back in humility, even though I knew they were doing something wrong. Yeah. Always being the first one to like take a knee and apologize. Yeah. You know,
absolutely.
I think it's always a good place to be.
Taking the high road, man. Yeah. Like that just speaks volumes of your character. But yeah, we all make mistakes, man. Like nobody's perfect.
Heck no.
So
if you think any Christian's perfect, it's a lie.
That's a straight up lie. Exactly.
Straight up lie.
Yeah, man. Well, buddy, I think we've been talking for like 2 hours.
Way too long.
Yeah.
We should do that golf podcast.
We should, about. Man.
I think that'd be fun.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
We're gonna figure out the ins and outs of that.
I told you that I got wireless lapel mics.
Oh, we could use our phones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I have a little tripod mount that can clip onto the golf cart.
Okay.
If we want to kind of like just do that.
Well, I've got GoPros.
Oh, do you
and
really?
Suction cups.
Oh, yeah, that'd be even better.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That would be so much freaking fun.
Let's freaking do it.
So
or disc golf. You play disc golf?
I do play.
I'm doing a disc golf tournament at the end of this month.
Are you really?
Yeah, yeah.
I am not very good at disc golf.
I'm not either, but I'm going anyway.
Play.
You should do it.
Where do you play at?
Well, this one, me and Sterling actually just like went to this paid place where you actually get a golf cart.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a golf course, but they put like a disc golf place on like next to the holes, which has got to be super annoying to golfers. But It's legit because the
That's so
grass
cool.
is nice. You're not like fumbling through like all the vines and crap to get your discs unless you like really throw it off.
Yeah.
But it's awesome, dude.
The last time I played disc golf, this was, I think, a year and a half ago. One of my buddies invited me out, and he had a friend that came out that was like, he took it very seriously. Like he has like really nice discs and everything, and he
wasn't John Heddick, was it?
No. This is people that I work with. He let me throw one of his like brand new ones.
Oh no!
He's like, dude, give this a try. I lost 3 of his discs.
Did you find them though?
No,
because the trick with disc golf is you never find the discs you threw, but you find everybody else's.
Yes.
And so actually, the last time I played, I bought 3 discs. I spent like $50, and I lost all 3 of them, but I got 6 discs.
Nice.
And they're nice discs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the heck?
It's the same thing with golf. Wow.
Oh.
I
Somebody's
hope that
pissed
horn
outside.
picks up on one of our mics.
I hope so too.
Yeah, we have a busy street that we're next to. But it's the same thing with golf. You find everybody else's ball except yours.
Yes.
And
like, who plays with Wilson? You know?
Well, I'm not at the point where I really care about like the type of ball I play with, because it's like, I have to learn how to hit.
I'm a nerd. Gotta look up the Pro V1 stats.
Oh, do you?
There's YouTube channels where they actually test them between different golf balls.
Oh, okay.
Because there's like a pro touring guy that actually knows the difference between all of them.
Oh wow. Oh, hey Ben.
I saw it, dude.
No, you're good, dude.
You're fine.
We're wrapping it up anyway. So.
And so what I do is I buy on Amazon like reclaimed Pro V1s. And so like the same price is like buying cheaper balls.
All right.
So I still get like the stats of the Pro V1 and I don't feel as bad.
Maybe I should do that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dude, let's make that happen. That 100%. Sounds like a lot of fun. We would have to have. Well, I guess your GoPro could record for like a few hours at a time.
Yeah. So I do
like
my podcast. It does like I can set it to where it does like 5 hours.
Because with my
I have 3 GoPros, so we could do we gotta just switch GoPros.
Dude, that would be so cool. That'd be so much fun. I have a thing that I'm starting called CBTX Golf, and I'm wanting to.
I think I saw the Instagram.
Oh, did you really? Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm wanting to put out golf videos, and like the whole point of it, I'm wanting to help other people feel better about their golf game, and
dude,
so I kind of embarrass myself.
Right with you. I'm the guy that every time I don't play often enough, I'll go and I go, well, I'm hitting a fade today, and that's just gonna be how it is.
Yep.
And then by the 18th hole, I kind of figure out how to straighten it out.
Yeah.
Because I've had lessons over the years, so I've learned I just gotta lead with my hands maybe a little more. I gotta turn my wrist.
Yeah.
And I just gotta think about that. But then I'll hit like a 3-iron or a 3-wood, and I'm fading all day, and then I'll put my 3-wood on the ground and smack it straight into the trees when I was expecting a fade. I'm like, daggone it, I would hit it straight here.
You overcorrect it. No, man. But let's do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. 100%. All right, buddy. Sam Glenn, thank you so much for being here, dude. Whoop, whoop. All right. Have a good one.
Bye.